your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Hello and welcome back to the ESL Pro League North America Season 5, Match Day 1. Bit of a mouthful, but we get there in the end. And we've just seen OpTic pulling off a very nice win over Selfless. It was reasonably close, but it never felt like OpTic was in too much danger of losing that one.
Oh, I mean, after the initial rounds, they went down, I think it was 5 or 6 to nothing without getting around on the board. But once they started answering back, they strung a couple rounds together. I think they lost a few, but then they got back on the board and eventually only went down, I think, in that half by a round in the end. So they managed to pull it back, and then once they got into their T side, they just got rolling. And really, there wasn't too much that Selfless could do from that point forward, despite winning both pistols.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was really the takeaway there for OpTic. They'll be feeling pretty good about that one. As you said, they lost both the pistols and they still managed to win the map. So that's always a bit of a confidence booster, I think. And heading in towards this second map here of Train, certainly should probably expect OpTic to come into this one with another advantage. But it is a map which maybe they're not so happy to be on, as Dust 2. And, it's another decent map for Selfless. So, there could be something in it for Selfless.
Of course. And, I mean, Selfless played well in that last round, that last map. I mean, there was definitely good takeaways for them from this. On their T side, they played well in terms of getting out and pressuring OpTic, and they had their little B drop or CT into CT spawn drop off short through to B take that worked out quite well for them. I mean, there's definitely good takeaways from them, and I fully expect them to be competitive on this map based off the last one.
Alrighty, well, we've already seen one map go. We've still got 3 rounds to come up through today, and obviously over on the mainstream as well. They're pretty much in time with us. The first map, or the first match for those guys went 16-9 in the favor of Cloud9. No surprises to see Cloud9 pulling off the win there. As I mentioned previously, we did just see OpTic pick up the win 16-12 over Selfless. Obviously later on tonight as well, we do have NRG up against Complexity in what could be a potentially pretty close match.
I mean, we'd expect it to be based on these two lineups. I mean, both teams recently with some lineup changes. I mean, NRG not too long ago did have their mixed, I believe it was majority German lineup, but they've had most of those German players move over to, I believe it was Big now, and they've got themselves a fully North American roster. Well, I think it's a Canadian in there too, but an American roster once again.
Yeah. So interesting to see how that one turns out, but we'll turn our eyes back towards this matchup here. OpTic and Selfless on Train. How are you feeling like this one is going to go?
I mean, I'm still going to go with OpTic to take it out. I think Selfless did play well in the last map, but OpTic, I mean, maybe Train isn't their favorite map, but they're definitely no slouches on it either. I've seen them play well on it, I believe, quite a few times before. And sure, this is Selfless's map pick, but you have to remember that if you're Selfless, you were up 5 or 6 rounds before OpTic get around on, and you lost. You won both pistol rounds and you lost. That's not the greatest of starts. It's not the greatest of confidence boosters. So I wouldn't be surprised to see OpTic coming away with this one, and that's where I'm going to have my prediction. Yeah,
I definitely feel like, or at least coming into this one, I felt like OpTic were going to be able to pull off a relatively easy 2-0. I got to say, I think Selfless have done a better job than I thought they would. So far, they're on Dust, so I wonder if it's going to be fairly similar here on Train. I know last season, I remember we saw Selfless playing Train quite a bit, and they did take some of those teams to some very long matches. I don't think they were necessarily so successful in pulling off the wins, but at least they were able to show something here on Train, and I wonder if that's going to be the case again here up against OpTic. Given the way that we did see Dust 2 go, I suspect it should be potentially a relatively close one coming out here again on Train, but that's going to be up to OpTic and Selfless to show us. It does look like we are into the pistol round, and Selfless starting off on the CT side, always going to be nice for them.
Absolutely, and OpTic on the T. Now, this is interesting out of OpTic, something you don't see too much. We do have a pair of upgraded pistols, but instead of TAC-9s, we've got Tarek and Naf with P250s, and they're going to take some utility along with those as well. So, wanting to have some bit more favor in the long-range advantage when they would have Glocks. And this is a good start for them, flooding on to the inner sight. That's actually 3 kills very quickly. 2 for Rush, 1 for Hiko. Rush getting a 3rd in this round, and now Slemmy, the only player left for Selfless. OpTic with a very quick take and a very nice one as well, just shutting down all of the CT players on this site, and there we go. Flawless pistol round and a 4K for Rush.
Well, it looks like the pistol round finally going the way of OpTic. Obviously losing both of those ones on Dust 2, as we say, but a good start into the second map here. Selfless on the back foot on their own map pick.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what they can do into this one, but this should really just be a save for them, or at least only some pistols. They can force, but look at the buy from OpTic. They've gone aggressive with this one. They have 3 rifles, 1 scout, and a UMP, so they're looking to play the long-range engagements here more than they're looking to get some kills mopping up with those SMGs, and that's a really nice scout shot, actually. Playing the angle, there is Mixwell, and he'll tag DSR down to 45 HP. OpTic not looking to move anywhere as quickly in this round, just taking their time, feeling out the map. They do have the better weapons to do it with, and they've got a bit of time to play with as well. So I can only imagine this one will go the way of OpTic.
As of yet, though, they haven't gained too much control across the map. Starting to lurk around through the halls up maybe towards the B bomb side is Tarek. And the rest of them just holding default for now. So not wanting to get caught off guard really by any sort of crazy rush from Selfless.
And we have seen, I mean, on the last map, Selfless on their pistol rounds, they didn't really do so many rushes as they did a lot of weird stacks or creative stacks, but look at this from Caboose, actually looking to get in here. There's a player to his left that he has not noticed, and now they will, as Hiko gets the triple kill on those pushing players, sitting in that corner with his back turn, just waited them all out, and the 4K for Hiko as well. He can even get the ace here. The last player is on his left, and he will! Nice shot there, Hiko. Taps him out, and the ace with the UMP to start us off here in this second round.
And look at all that cash in his bank now, 7.4K. He's going to be feeling quite happy after that one. It was a very nice little bit of a bait set up there from OpTic, baiting out that scout player and having Hiko just turn around and clean things up there. He's found himself on 6 kills after the first couple of rounds, so feeling very, very good about how things are going so far for OpTic. Should be another eco here for Selfless. Just the pistols, a deagle on no one, but really nothing to write home about for Selfless just yet.
Yeah, I mean, a smoke and a flashbang on Slammy as well, but a single smoke and a single flash, not really too many creative pushes or anything you can pull off with that. And already the rifles here coming in very strong from OpTic. I mean, there's 4 kills, almost completely unanswered. A bit of damage done, but not really anything else. And now Nifty, he could actually take out Tarek here. He nearly does as well. Lands the dink, 3 HP for Tarek, but no kill. And that was really the only chance for damage that Selfless had in that round. So OpTic will find themselves the, I believe, completely clean 3-0. So we'll have to see now. Yeah, not a single one of them has died. We'll have to see if they can continue that into this round, though, where it looks like they're going to be staying with this lower buy, and Selfless is going to be answering back with 4 M4s and an AWP.
So the AWP on the hands of DSR. Again, we saw him with the AWP in his hands towards the end of Dust, and I got to say, I felt like Slummy was perhaps just a little bit more impactful for Selfless, but they've opted to put it into the hands of DSR, so we'll see how it goes. He's going to have to go up against Mixwell with just the scout, and, well, just as I'm questioning the AWP in his hands, he does find the opening pick there on a Tarek, so can't really complain about that one just yet for Selfless.
Of course not, and they'll be quite happy with that. I mean, that's already a better start than all their last rounds have gone. That's their first, I believe, their first kill of this map so far, so they'll, of course, be looking to do more with that if they can, but the T's already looking good to go in towards A again. There's going to be 3 players here waiting, all of them around this bomb train, and I think a 4th back towards the back of the lane there. So this is not the right move. There's a long spray from Noah, not going to manage to do too much damage, but there's DSR answering with his 2nd kill of the round. Looking to get more done here. He's going to find his 3rd, could find his 4th. Surely we're not going to see another ace here. DSR already on the 4K. The last player is potentially in his sights. Let's go and get the bomb. Hiko will be spotted out by Caboose, so we're not going to see another ace, but very close. And a nice round from DSR with the AWP.
Yeah, it certainly was, and that's a little embarrassing for me. Picks up 4 right after I've questioned the AWP, but still.
Caster's curse.
Yeah, exactly, Caster's. But in this case, it was kind of like the reverse.
Caster's benefit, I suppose?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we'd call it.
Caster's
Maybe
buff.
someone else can think of something for us. In the end, though, OpTic are going to be able to buy back into this round. Mixwell this time with an AWP in his hand, so perhaps a bit of an upgrade over that scout, you'd have to think. And whether or not he's going to be able to show the same sort of heroics for his team as DSR just did is now the question.
Well, Mixwell is a very mobile and dangerous AWPer as well. He just takes engagements all over the map. He's not like a static guy who just goes somewhere and holds an angle. He's quite happy to run around and take this aggressive role and try and catch out the other team wherever they may be. So we'll have to see if he can get any of that going. For now, he was over, I think he's still actually over towards, wow, he was actually find the first pick on the Nifty. AWP trades for both teams. DSR and Mixwell both getting the jobs done, removing 1 player from the opposing team. And 4-on-4, really, that happened instantaneously in the game, really. Both teams have lost a player, so there's no advantage gained.
Yeah, Tarek just trying to get some spam down in towards the pop dog. Hasn't spotted anyone out just yet, but a little bit of information. Oh, Caboose. Is he going to be able to catch Mixwell off guard? He needs to be careful if he re-peeks this one. Tarek watching one angle, Mixwell with the AWP was watching the other. In the end, it looks like everyone's going to get out of there alive. So Tarek going for the re-peek, and Caboose as well is going to re-peek, unfortunately for him. Brings it back to 4-3 now in the favour of OpTic. And Selfless are going to have to think about their setups here, because 1 player over towards B isn't going to be doing a whole lot. Oh, nice little spray down through the smoke. As you say, the bomb goes down. DSR with a nice shot there onto Tarek and trades across the board at the moment to 2 versus 2, but the health advantage certainly in favour of Selfless.
Absolutely, with Mixwell stuck on 5 HP. While he does have the AWP, it doesn't really matter. He only needs to land 1 shot, so low HP, probably best to be on an AWP. He actually spots out the elbow there, but it is a shoulder peek, and he will fall for it. Will not hit that shot, so he's going to fall back here. Hiko is going to put the bomb down on the far side of the train from Slemmy, so they're safe at least for now. They're going to get the bomb down, but in a 2-on-2 with a heavy HP advantage, this one's going to be difficult for OpTic.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's no real utility to speak of here for OpTic either, and that grenade doing a bit of damage over to Hiko. As you mentioned, a good flash onto Mixwell, but Hiko finds the first kill in the 2v2, and Mixwell finds the second. OpTic clutching it out in, well, a difficult situation, but there it is, 4-1 in the favor of OpTic now. Selfless going to be back on the eco.
26 HP between those last 2 players alive there, and they still managed to find the kills. I believe it was something like 150 HP on the last 2 Selfless players. Admittedly, one of those kills was with an AWP for OpTic, so it doesn't matter how much HP the enemy team is on, but when the HP disadvantage is so far against you there, that's a really nice round for OpTic to win. They'll be feeling good about that one here, and only pistols from Selfless. And again, another one of these stacks from them, just all 5 players on this inner bomb site.
No one's pushed quite far forward in towards the E-box. Is he going to be able to catch Tarek off guard? He probably would have heard the drop there into PopDog. Spots out both of those players, but now he's in a real world of hurt. He's got crossfires from both sides. In the end, it's Naf to pick up the kill. Tarek looking for a second for his team. Does go down. Hiko, though, to find the kill onto Nifty as OpTic start to push their way forward. It's not being the easiest of tasks. In the end, though, it does look like they're going to get the job done with 3 players left alive. So overall, not too bad of a round for OpTic, though perhaps losing maybe 1 extra gun that they wouldn't have wanted to. Doesn't matter too much, though, because the economy that they've got built up here on that T side. And 5-1, certainly a much better start to this this map, rather, than the last one.
I believe that's actually pretty close to, if not exactly, a mirrored score of what we had 5 or 6 rounds into the last one, or 7 rounds, I guess, into the last map of Dust 2. But that was Selfless with the advantage. This time it is OpTic. Now, speaking of advantages, the last round was pretty easy for OpTic. They're going to take down some pistols. This time, they're going to have a lot of rifles. Admittedly, Slammy is on that UMP, but they do have a lot of rifles, and an AWP facing off against them as well. That AWP's going to be on DSR, who has been playing well so far. That's a nice double peek there from No One and Nifty to drop Navfly. Mixwell going to miss his first shot, spots out a bunch of players. Actually, they know there's going to be a fair few players over towards this B side, but Nifty going to just challenge the issue and take down Mixwell. A very nice flash there to blind him, followed up in the close range. And now we're in a 3-on-5, and those kills out of Selfless were so well done. They've lost not a single point of HP. It's going to be Tarek actually trying to throw the AWP away. Did miss the throw a little bit. Still trying to get rid of that one. Does not want the CTs to have it. You'll get there, Tarek. 3rd time's the charm. There we go. 10 points. He wins, lands the basket. But still a 3-on-5. AWP is gone, so at least it's safe. But it's also a bit of a disadvantage to not have that one if they could have used it.
Yeah, well, really nice play there from Selfless, changing things up. You got the initial push in towards the ramp, and, well, we'll hold that thought for the moment, as it looks like Rush is going to find himself an easy kill. How much more information can he get here? I don't think he's going to spot anyone else out. But in the end, still, a free kill's a free kill. You'll take that, especially in a situation like this. Still, only a disadvantage for OpTic. Again, it's going to be furthered, as we only see 2 players left alive now for OpTic. Hiko, though, has other ideas. He finds the first one onto Caboose. Can he find a second one here onto Nifty, who walked right onto his sights? The spray down, not quite there, but it looks like the bomb should be planted safely. No one's not going to peek that one.
No one could have actually shot that whole thing down right there. The clock was ticking pretty dangerously low, so if he'd stopped that, it would have been the end of it. But somehow Hiko going to get away with the kill. Despite being shot from the side. And actually, Tarek's going to spray him down. Cleaning up the 1-on-2 all of a sudden. They're out of nowhere. That was very nice play from Tarek. Finds the position, finds the spray, and 6-1 for OpTic in a situation that should be unwinnable.
Yeah, just as I was praising Selfless there for changing things up, you saw, as I said, that early push in towards the ramp, caught OpTic off guard, and then the team play getting the flash in towards the AWP of Mixwell. It looked really good early on in that round for Selfless, and then things just sort of fell apart. They lose a 2v4, and again, OpTic come up with the win in sort of a clutch situation. And again, I feel like I'm repeating myself so many times, but Selfless is back on the eco.
Well, to be fair, we're repeating ourselves because the same things keep happening. It's just unfortunate some of the round losses that Selfless are coming away with here, but this position from Slemmy, he's actually got a player above him. He's not going to find the headshot. He will eventually find it, and now Mixwell looking to challenge, nails the shot with the Tech 9. So a trade back. There's Hiko getting himself 2, getting himself 3, getting himself 4. Okay, Hiko sitting in the PopDog, shutting down everyone coming off that ladder, cleans it up, and I was about to start talking about how the teams were starting to trade back, but then Hiko traded all of them back. So there you go, 7-1 now, and OpTic off to a cracking start here on Train.
Absolutely, 7-1, especially on the T side. You really can't ask for all that much more here for OpTic. Selfless do have to get some rounds on the board, and pretty much right now is when they need to start doing that. At least they've got to buy into this round, so potential again for something here, but it looks like OpTic is going to be quick in towards the A-bomb site, not leaving any time for Selfless to breathe, and certainly looks like Selfless do need a little bit of time to breathe because things are not going their way at the moment. A 1-for-1 trade, though, could be worse.
Yeah, this could be where Selfless got back into it, but the spray held through the smoke there by Nav will drop Caboose, and it's a 3-on-4 already here. So, admittedly, it's not looking the greatest for Selfless. They can still get back into this, but they're just getting really shut down on the site takes, and then the retakes is not getting much done. This boost is creative. I do like this one. Nifty here, getting up on top of that box. It's a very nice position. Does get flashed out. We'll find the first kill, not the second, though. Hiko trading that one back, and while Hiko is left on 7 HP, it's, well, Slemmy's on 1, and in a 2-on-3, this is not looking good for Selfless. Looks like they will be falling out of this one.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best option here, but OpTic, they have a lot of economy built up. They want to chase these guns down, and they do just manage to do that. DSR goes down, and they're having a look around here for Slemmy as well. If they can take the gun out of his hands, that's going to be so important here for OpTic. It's going to really help them later on in the round, and a 2-for-1 trade overall when they were hunting those guns down. I think OpTic is going to be quite pleased with how that one's turned out.
Although unfortunate for that last rifle there. Found the first kill, and the second player, I believe it was Hiko, was so low that just one bullet would have finished him off. But not going to get it done, which is unfortunate for Selfless. And my goodness, Hiko, off the back of that UMP ace earlier, still riding high in the economy and in the kills. 17 and 3. He's on fire right now. We were talking about Hiko potentially having to be the difference maker. Maybe not seeing as much of it on Dust 2, but on Train, Hiko is on fire right now, carrying his team.
Absolutely. There's no one really being able to even chime in with as many frags as he's getting at the moment. So, you know what? If Hiko's going ham, might as well let him do it, because it's certainly working out quite nicely here for OpTic. 8-1. And staring down the barrel of a 9-1 as well, going up against this eco of Selfless, who really haven't showed us all that much so far on the CT side. DSR finding one at least, and that's the danger man of Hiko going down. So is there a chance here for Selfless? Tarek, though, looking like he wants to clean things up. Oh. He's got himself 3 kills in this round, and now just looking for the 4th to close things out. Does have to go up against an AWP on Nifty. Does have control of the bomb, so he can plant that bomb wherever he pleases, and he's going to rotate all the way over towards the B bomb site. Just give Nifty a little bit extra to think about.
And Nifty doesn't have a kit here or armor, because this was pretty much an entire eco round for our Selfless. So while they've done amazingly well to get it into a 1-on-1, it's not going to be a 1-on-1 that's easy to win. Nifty now knows where this bomb is planted. It looks like he's going to work his way through the connector to get over there. But Tarek has himself 2 flashes. He's got a Molotov he can chuck on that bomb to delay, which is going to be very important when Nifty does not have a kit. But they're actually going to peek each other straight away. Like, who's going to be ready for this shot? It's actually going to be Nifty's going to take it. Tarek did get the spray in, but Nifty dancing around, playing with that corner, will get the shot across the line, will get the defuse in too, and a 3K on him in that round. That's actually, of all the rounds to win for Selfless, they pick up that one.
Yeah, the pistol round. I don't know about that one for OpTic, but it's not going to hurt them too much, you would expect. I thought that was a little bit of interesting play by Tarek, to be honest, pushing that. He plans it in what was essentially a non-default position. I thought maybe he had something up his sleeve, and if I remember correctly, he had a Molotov as well, so I thought he was going to do something a little bit different there, but decides to actually take the duel. Obviously didn't know exactly where Nifty was coming from, but it felt like an aggressive sort of a play from him, and in the end didn't work out too nicely, and now Selfless have got enough economy built up. They saved that AWP through from the last round that they've actually been able to buy a second one here onto DSR, and this could be the turning point. OpTic really going to have to be careful going up against the double AWP. Well, they're quite careful indeed. Mixwell finding the first kill onto DSR.
He was very, very ready for that peak to come in and shuts it down. So now Nifty, the only player with an AWP left. No one actually pushing forward, trying to take back some map control for his team, looking to go into A main, catch out any of these Ts if they're here, but they're not. There is a player just outside waiting for him, but no kill as of yet for the CTs, despite that aggression. And they've still got a lot of work to do to come back from this one. It looks like OpTic will be grouping up, moving over to the B site. They are in the upper halls right now, just biding their time. Whether they're going to go out upper B, whether they're going to go down the ramp, not quite sure as of yet. If they do go out upper, they're going to be running into the AWP of Nifty. So, I mean, knowing how OpTic have been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some incredibly inventive flashbang to shut that down, a smoke, or whatever they can do. They do have a bit of utility to work with here, quite a bit actually, 4 Molotovs, so they can shut out a lot of positions. They can also delay the bomb plant. There's the smoke to let them get out upper, but Naf moves too soon, doesn't wait for the smoke to bloom, will be picked by Nifty. Nifty looking to do more now, but Tarek will trade out that one at least, and now he's going to peek straight into Nifty, but Nifty is distracted, doesn't know where this piece is going to come from. Will drop Tarek though, 3-on-3. Nifty looking to do it all himself here, getting aggressive with this AWP, but will not see Mixwell up on the train, and now Caboose and no one left alone. No one actually close here, too close for Mixwell, who was not expecting him, and oh my goodness, Hiko almost caught out as well. But these teams do have their little crossfire set up now. The bomb actually safe, but Caboose gets one and gets traded. Rush staying here for this engagement, and no one will take him down. That's going to be another round for Selfless, and the advantage was entirely with OpTic there, but they could not hold on.
Yeah, so seems to be, some issues coming out here for OpTic on that B bomb side. I'd much prefer to see them making their way again towards the outer bomb site. That's where we saw them really just rolling over Selfless and having no troubles at all. As soon as they've started hitting the B site, getting the bomb down on B, things have not worked out well for them. So wonder what we're going to see from OpTic coming out here, but I hope at the very least that it is going to be sort of on the outer area as opposed towards inner.
Absolutely, but they have almost no money here, so losing this round, they're not going to be able to get too good of a buy into the next one. And they don't have an AWP on Mixwell here either. It's all just AKs and utility. That double AWP still out on the T side. May not have worked out for them so well last round. They did lose one of them pretty much instantly to a well-held angle from Mixwell, who read that peak coming. But now, look at the aggression here. Tarek actually running out through the Molotov, gets distracted, can't figure out where to shoot at, and Slemmy drops him with the UMP. So now OpTic, a player down already. Slemmy only just below 50 HP, so not too much damage taken from the AK of Tarek. Means that OpTic now to try and recover this one.
It was a really risky play there as well from Tarek, rushing through that Molotov. I mean, there was no way he could have gotten out of that one. He essentially had to win the duels. There was no plan B, and he didn't win the duel, and as a result, we find ourselves at a 4v5 advantage to Selfless. Though at least it does look like OpTic having a bit of a look around the outer area again. I do like that. Like I said, had much more success out here so far.
But for now, looking to move in to this A site. They do have smoke there, so they can get in behind it. They've got Mixwell over in the Pop Dog already, but no one here. Sat behind this Molotov is not actually forced out of position here. He will be ready for Mixwell to come through, but Naf working his way in behind them here. And actually, there's all the kills going OpTic's way. Mixwell and Rush pick him up. Naf, this position from him is so good. He'll actually drop Caboose as well. Picks up the AWP to try and get a bit more done here. 4 on 2, all of a sudden 3 unanswered frags from OpTic Gaming on the entry to that site. The bomb's going to go down. The CTs are falling back, and that was very well played from OpTic out of nowhere. They were down a man, and they just suddenly pull out 3 kills on the entry, and they get themselves the round.
They sent Mixwell on the hunt as well, and he has done a very good job of it. DSR going down. That's the AWP. Slemmy can recover it, but isn't going to be able to get caught off guard by Mixwell. In the end, he's the one catching Mixwell off guard, and so the AWP is relatively safe for the moment. Ooh, good shot onto Hiko as well. So this is looking like a pretty, I was going to say a pretty reasonable save from Slemmy, but in the end gets taken down by Naf. OpTic not taking AWP through the next round, so we'll see if they decide to buy one.
Hiko might be able to drop on one of his teammates. Doesn't have the money to do so. Looks like they're just having a quick chat about that, deciding, nope, going to go with the
I would have
AK.
been surprised if they had have bought an AWP there, given that they could have saved one through from the last round.
Absolutely, and it's just an eco they're up against anyway. It's only default pistols, no upgraded pistols, no utility, no armor. It's just nothing here for Selfless. So really, the AKs are going to be a better idea up against pistols in close range anyway, and looks like they're going for another aggressive A split here, straight out through Pop Dog, and multiple members of the team. Tarek gets the first kill, Molotov's in to force out these Ts. There's a grenade kill actually, and more AK kills raining in. Everyone on Selfless is dead, bar Caboose. If he found that angle, pushed out a little bit more, he could deny the bomb plant, but not going to happen, and just trying to take the long-range fights here, and will go down. There we go. Naf will drop him. Nice work there from OpTic, completely clotheslining Selfless in that round. They're 10 and 3 already.
Certainly a good-looking half so far for OpTic. I mean, they could potentially pull this one through to 12-3, because the buy coming out here for Selfless is not going to be great. If they lose this one, it's not going to be excellent next round either. I mean, things are just really not looking great for Selfless. Their backs are against the wall, and they need to find something. I don't think 3 rounds on the CT side is enough to play with next half.
Yeah, very possibly not, especially with how OpTic and indeed Hiko have been looking. They've been very strong here, and even on their CT side, I think they'll be better as well. So in the T side, we've seen already on these last 2 maps has been their stronger side, but I wouldn't count them out in their CT, although here come the trade attempts. Lots of frags going both teams' way. Tarek will manage to get 2 there somehow on 10 HP. Gets himself a 3 frag already. Those last 2 kills I don't think he should have gotten, but he does. Mixwell will pick up the SR, and Nifty now the last player remaining. Looks like Tarek is a bit fed up of us talking up Hiko, wants to get his own praise in, picking up the kills, getting it done. Nifty will take out Mixwell, but it's going to be Hiko and Tarek remaining in a 2-on-1. And if there's any players you want a 2-on-1 out of OpTic, I think it's going to be those 2.
Yeah, Hiko nearly getting spotted out by Nifty, but the timing not quite right there. Tarek still lurking around through the B side, actually making his way in towards CT spawn and wrapping around the back, so he could be the key player here for OpTic. If he can get around behind Nifty and get an angle onto him, it's going to be an easy kill. Hiko, all he needs to do here is essentially just stall things out in time for Tarek. In the end, he's not going to need to do that at all, because Hiko is on a point at the moment and sitting on, what, 18 frags? Could be potentially 20 bomb at the end of this half, which would just be fantastic.
18 and 6. Tarek right behind him at 15 and 7. Those two really stepping up for OpTic so far in this game. On the side of Selfless, it's 8 kills and 2 people on 8 kills, 3 people on 6. Like, there's just not much getting done by them. They're getting some kills. They've had a couple of these rounds go into 1v1s, but they've just barely been able to win any of them, as it's 11-3 now. And even if they do get an 11-4 here, that's still so hard to recover from on your T side that they'd have to win pistol. I mean, they did win the last 2 pistols, or both pistols on Dust 2. They got completely shut out. That's a nice shot from Capuso, looking to get more done as well. Pushes forward, actually gets the second. That is not what you want to do if you're OpTic. They give away 2 guns there, really. I mean, the first kill, fair enough, but you've got to be able to trade. They do heavy damage with the utility there, using the grenades, taking Nifty very low indeed, but both the AKs that were dropped from those OpTic players have been recovered, and all of a sudden, Selfless are in this one with a chance. It's
going to be very difficult for OpTic to come back into this one in this round. They didn't have much map control, and now only just starting to gain control of Ivy and the White Halls, and Rush with a nice kill onto no one. Still one low player, or a couple of low players really for Selfless here, so it's potential for OpTic, and we have seen them come back from deficits like this before so far this half, and geez, Selfless, they really need this round.
They really do, and they've got a chance of it. They've still got one of those AKs on the board, a UMP, a 5.7, and a Mag 7. So decent chance to do damage. They've definitely got the weapons to do it with, but the question will be if they're able to catch out these OpTic players, as OpTic have really just seemed to have had their number on this map so far. They've been able to read exactly where Selfless is going to be. They've been able to get in, get the kills. So it's all going to be on frags here. There's not too much strategy left in this 4-on-3. It's just going to be who's going to hit their headshots. And at the moment, with 25 seconds left, it's going to have to start being OpTic now. There's a good start, though. Mixwell drops Slemmy. And there's all the kills actually going OpTic's way. I shouldn't have spoken up, because now it's over. Really, it's only DSR remaining. Tarek will hold the spray on him, take that one out, and OpTic 12-3.
12-3 indeed. It was a very good first half there for OpTic. Getting that little bit of a clutch towards the end. And I think we're just going to head to a quick break here. It is 12-3 in the favor of OpTic, but we'll be back in the second half.
I can't understand people watching somebody play a computer game.
It's still not a sport.
It shouldn't be on a sports network.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word.
It's important to be part of the Pro League because it's sort of the premier league for all the North American pro teams, and also it gives you the opportunity to make the LAN finals and play against some of EU's best as well.
You know, with the sponsor Mountain Dew, can be really good for up-and-coming players. It feels amazing to have this opportunity, and I'd never take it for granted, that's for sure.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You are ready. Ready to win.
Fantastic flash back the line of rule. They spray them down. He decimates Tempo Storm. Second fire, and they line up again. Cold. 3, nearly 4. He gets it in the end.
There has to be quick from phase. They have no kids, but Boris in a lovely position.
That was sick. He stands to the challenge. One quick kill and the nade. All of phases.
G'day guys and welcome back to the ESL Pro League North America Division Season 5 Match Day 1. We're watching at the moment OpTic up against Selfless, and we're in the second map. We're almost into the second half. OpTic starting off really nicely on train.
Yeah, OpTic getting off to that 12-3 start. They've done so well here. I mean, on Dust 2, that first map, we saw them go down a little bit. They got down, I think, 5 or 6 rounds before they won a round. They did fight back into it, and they managed to get the win in the end, running away a bit on their T side. But they've started running away on their T side way earlier this time with a 12-3 start. I mean, is there even a chance for Selfless to come back into this?
It's a very, very slim one. I mean, option one, I guess you have to take away the pistol round. There's really no option but to do that. So that's what I'm looking for here for Selfless. If they don't manage to pick up the pistol round, then I think they're pretty much done.
Yeah, very possibly. I mean, if they do win the pistol round, they can get the following up anti-ecos and they can push themselves up towards maybe 12-6, that sort of area. But if they lose the pistol round, they could potentially be facing down 15-3. But that said, this is where we find out right now with pistol round going live. It's going to be OpTic on the CT side, Selfless taking the T side, and this pistol round's going to be all important.
Oh, Tarek going for the early wide peeky. He has spotted out one player, and he's actually got a bit of backup here as well from Naf. Looks like this is going all the way of OpTic at the moment. 2 quick kills in their favor. One goes down, though. It's Tarek getting picked up by Nifty. Still a 2-for-1. I think OpTic are going to be pretty happy with how that one's turned out.
Absolutely, and so early on as well. I mean, in the first 15 seconds of the round, they've found themselves a bunch of kills. So, again, this pistol round, if Selfless lose this, they could be staring down the barrel of 15-3 very, very quickly. So they've got to do something here to try and regain control. But in a 3 against 4, with 2 players still over towards this long position, it's definitely not going to be easy for them. And the bomb is solo at the moment, which is going to be no one by himself. I'm not sure that's the smartest move because it's on the other side of the map from his teammates too.
Yeah, if he gets picked off, I mean, it's all said and done really there for Selfless, but he's still alive for the moment, hanging around PopDog. Really need to see those 2 players at Ivy getting some control here of the White Halls. They need to pick up Naf, or they need to find a kill onto Rush, something like that. But it really just doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's pulled out through the smoke, finds one, but that's enough there really for OpTic. When they have the player advantage, a 1-for-1 is always going to be fine. Rush in the meanwhile, dropping the bomb planter, or the bomb carrier even, not even planter at this point. And I think that's pretty much it, said and done for Selfless, unless Nifty can come up big. He gets around behind, but misses the shots onto Nifty. Onto Mixwell, sorry, who will be able to pick up the kill. And, well, OpTic on 13 now with the pistol round win under their belt.
That could have been so much worse, or even, I suppose, so much bigger there for Nifty. I mean, he got behind them. None of those OpTic players were looking at him. They assumed he'd come the other way. So he managed to get the first kill, but unfortunately couldn't get the second, which means OpTic going to be able to pick up that pistol round, and they're going to get a buy-off too.
Double shotgun.
Double shotgun, yeah. I mean, we've seen the XM out of Hiko a fair bit, especially on Nuke. He loves to play around top of the hut with that thing. Not so much on Train, maybe, but to see 2 of them on Tarek and Hiko, it speaks volumes as to OpTic's confidence right now. And I mean, they've got a 10-round lead to play with and only pistols against them. Like, why wouldn't you? You've got to go for the extra money.
They're holding good angles as well with those shotguns. Obviously, the drop down and in towards the ramp on towards B with Hiko. So I think there's a pretty good choice really from OpTic. Like you said, only going up against pistols. There is a bit of armor though on Selfless, so that could potentially cause some issues, but we'll see how OpTic go with these. I'm quietly confident.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be vocally confident. I think OpTic are going to be not going to have too much trouble with this. I mean, at the ranges these shotguns are playing, they really should, if they can hit headshots, be able to get the 1-shot kills off. So we'll just have to see how it goes here. Selfless still moving along in these upper halls. It's 3 players with the bomb heading over towards B. We've got Nifty here lining up a flashbang for the lower side. It's going to be a pop flash out of the bottom of the ramp to try and get his teammates out. But Hiko with a counter flash of his own blinds up 2 of those players. Nifty not blind, but still ready to throw his own flash. And this could be just a lot of kills for Hiko happening here very quickly, but he is blind, and here come the T's. He's going to become unblind quickly enough. Starts firing, gets 1, gets 2. No, there's a team kill there. That's Caboose getting a kill on DSR, and I don't think Hiko actually got a single kill there in the end, but...
No, I think he got one.
Either way, it's a 4-on-1. No one only has a pistol. Tarek just playing a very cheeky game here with his own shotgun, jumping and firing, and there's T's everywhere. Oh, no.
Nearly the knife kill, though.
The knife kill denied. Nav's not going to be too happy with his teammates there, but also, you know, it's 14-3. The extra bit of money would have been nice, but it's definitely not necessary at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic at the moment really looking quite confident and in control of this one. You know, going for knife kills, playing with those shotguns, things like that, really speaks about how strong they are up against Selfless. And, you know, Dust 2 might have been maybe a bit of a falter, but definitely looking like the OpTic that we were expecting to see coming into this one now.
Absolutely. I mean, 14-3. There was only one chance. The Selfless have one round here to hold off match point. If they lose that one, they then have to win a lot of rounds back to get overtime. And look at this confidence out of Mixwell. Straight up with the shotgun. Takes out no one already. Look at this confidence from all of OpTic. They're pushing everywhere. Naf can't get the spray down. Does a bit of damage. But it's Mixwell's going to actually get caught out. Will not be able to drop the bomb. Was running with his knife out. So it's actually a man advantage now for Selfless due to OpTic perhaps being too confident, but they're continuing at it. Look at Hiko here moving up into the upper halls. He might catch out these T's. They might not be ready for him. This aggression out of OpTic, I do enjoy this change. There's the first headshot, and not going to find the spray on the second, actually, which is surprising. Thought he would have had that. That's now an M4 that can be recovered by the T's. We'll just have to see. Surely at this point, OpTic start to play a bit more standard. Surely these two don't push.
You would think not. Think not, and it does look like they've both defaulted back to a bomb site. Actually, Rush throwing a Molotov over towards the ramp and making his way back over to A, so giving his teammate a little bit of backup. I don't mind this either from OpTic, getting you know, a bit of extra backup, I suppose, gambling on that A bomb site, and if they can pull this one off, you know, it'll be another huge clutch. They've won so many so far this map, and, well, there's always potential for them to win another one. Tarek getting caught off guard, but still alive. That's the important thing. And now Rush with the peak. He's going to take down DSR. He's got an angle onto Nifty as well. And now in a 1v1, Slemmy so low, but he will clutch it out, and Selfless, oh, well, they're going to be able to survive or hang on by the cling of their teeth, or the skin of their teeth. They're going to cling on by the skin of their teeth.
There we go.
Just for a moment longer.
The question will be, though, how long will this moment last? I mean, is this the sort of... This is the time where Selfless just wins 1,000 rounds in a row and then they win this map, or is this, you know, just forestalling the inevitable? 1,000 is not entirely accurate, but we're going to go with it because I don't know how mathematics works. Anyway, only pistols now out of OpTic. They can afford to take the eco here. It's not too much of a problem for them. They have such a big lead. They have 10 rounds to play with before Selfless even catch up. And there's actually Tarek getting a kill, and I believe I just heard a dink somewhere. There's, all right, lots of kills going the way of the T's. Bit of team damage there from Hiko on the Nap, but he will go down, and there we go. Selfless shut it down, only losing 2 players. So that's a better round out of them.
Well, it is what it is, really, for OpTic. They only had the pistols to work with, so couldn't hope for too much. Mixwell has bought into this one. I'm not sure if that might have been a misbuy, because it looks like Tarek doesn't have all that much money to work with.
Nope, they're forcing into this one. That's a bit interesting. There we go. There's the rest of the buys coming in. So Tarek only on a 5-7, but Mixwell on the AWP. 2 M4s up for Rush and Nap, and Hiko with the UMP. I mean, I would think they're trying to set Mixwell up to be a hero here. And we've seen it in previous rounds. He can definitely do it in previous rounds, previous games. I mean, definitely not a bad choice to have an AWP on him. But the thing is, if they lose this round, then their economy is going to be tanked a little bit, and they could be giving away more round wins than perhaps they have to Selfless.
Well, whether or not they're going to lose that one, I guess, is the real question here for OpTic. A decent amount of utilities even, so they can stall these Selfless guys out for a bit. But it's definitely not going to be the easiest of rounds here for OpTic. And for the moment, Selfless have decided just to play default, deny as much information from OpTic as they can. Playing slow.
I think the slow play out of Selfless is just purely a reaction based on how aggressive OpTic got. I believe it was 2 rounds ago when they just pushed everything. I mean, Selfless came out the better of that aggression. They managed to pick up all the kills, but, I mean, they were trying to stop the aggression, and then they just peeked straight into Mixwell, who actually could hit this timing shot through the smoke here. Going to fall off it for now, but no one already down to Mixwell at the ramp over on, well, the upper part of B there. So that's a start for OpTic. I mean, again, they need one more round to put themselves towards map point. It's definitely Selfless fighting the uphill fight here. So as much as OpTic are at the disadvantage with weapons, then, I mean, this is looking good for them. They do flash themselves down. PopDog going to get out here towards this A site. Looks to take this fight to OpTic. And here they go, actually. It is all of Selfless here. All 4 remaining players. And there's going to be a lot of work to do. Mixwell already walled out in the connector. Nifty getting the first kill. Naf picking up 1, getting traded. Trade's going everywhere, actually. Bit of ping pong with kills. But Slemmy now the last player remaining. And Hiko will take him. Which means on the back of that admittedly shaky buy from OpTic, they're going to get themselves 10 map points.
Yeah, well, trades are all you need when you've got the player advantage, and OpTic certainly had that. In the end, as you say, 15 rounds on the board now for OpTic, 1 round away from closing this, well, these 2 best of ones out with 2 victories for them. So we'll see whether or not they're going to be able to pull it off here right in this round, in round number 6 of the second half, or if maybe we're going to be left wanting for a little bit longer. It's up to Selfless, really, I guess, with, you know, not a great buy.
And Selfless here to have any chance, have to win 10 rounds and then win overtime. So that is such a tall order, even on their own map pick. That is so hard. And Mixwell here dodges that flashbang perfectly, waits for Slemmy to peek into him, and he will. And again, Selfless last round, they played so carefully to stop this early aggression from OpTic. But this round, not as much of a counter, and they've already lost a player early.
Yeah, they've also got DSR down very low on 23 HP, so this is not looking too good at all for Selfless. Staring down the barrel of a 16-5 defeat after the 16-12 defeat on Dust 2. But, you know, anything can happen. It's still Counter-Strike, and 4 players left alive can definitely perform some sort of wonders.
Absolutely, but I think it's all going to be on Naf here over towards that Ivy position. His peak, his timing out here towards this long spot could be so important. He knows they're there now. They've got the smoke and the Molotov out as well. DSR, for what it's worth, cannot run through that thing with the health that he's on. There's the flash over from Naf. He's actually just going to go straight in for the pick here. Finds one, but he's aiming too far to the left to do anything more. But more importantly, he's given the information to his team, and now Rush looking to capitalize. Shows with the spray, but Caboose finishes him off, and now no one gets a kill as well. It's a 2-on-3, almost a 1-on-3 with Eco being found out up high, but he actually will go down there to Caboose, and now Mixwell 1-on-3. Looking for the first shot, we'll find that. Nice shot there. Nice work. Actually almost finds the second one too. Jumps out of cover though, and will be taken down by Nifty, which means Selfish Guy, we're going for a little bit longer here.
We are going for a little bit longer. Selfless still hanging in there. And I think it might be a couple of rounds yet before OpTic is going to have another good crack at picking up the win here, because they are going to be on Eco for this one. I was hoping, or even expecting almost, that Mixwell was going to pull off that 1v3. After he hit that first shot, I was thinking, oh, here we go. But in the end, he went for a bit of an aggressive push in towards E-Box and did get taken down on the cross. So a little unfortunate for OpTic there, but in the end, they only have themselves to blame, missing or losing too many aim jewels. Really, that's what it came down to in that last round. So they're going to be just spawn the pistols here once again.
But, they're looking to do some damage. They'll be happy with any kills they can get here, really. Again, 9 map points for them. They're not too bothered. They can afford to take an eco or two to be able to get themselves the full buy to get back towards everything they need to put themselves back onto winning ways, as they are only 1 round away from closing this one out. And it's actually a complete B stack here from OpTic. It looks like they're moving up towards the side. I'm not sure they're going to push anywhere. They're just spreading out, making sure their crossfires are all set. But Selfless playing this one very carefully. You can see them on the map there, moving around very slowly indeed, actually. They've got a lot of players just holding angles. They're convinced right now that OpTic are going to peak them. And based on what OpTic's done in the last few rounds with this CT side aggression, I don't blame them for that at all.
Yeah, again, as you say, Selfless playing quite slowly here. OpTic at this point don't really look like they want to do anything too aggressive. They're just content to sit on this B side, and some flashbangs, some Molotovs even being thrown in towards that site from Selfless. I think it's probably a fake at this point, considering we're not seeing much of a push from Selfless in that direction. They are heading over towards the A-bomb side, and that's probably the worst situation that could have eventuated really here for OpTic. They wanted a B push, and it's not going to eventuate.
And which means they're going to have to try and rotate in and pick up some kills. And with these P250s against pretty much full rifles, that's really not going to be easy. They've got to land a couple of long-range headshots to even do the slightest amount of damage here. And here's no one looking to shut it down. Actually gets flanked by Tarek. There's 1 kill for him. Tarek pushing forward, going to go around the smoke. Actually looking to jump straight on the bomb. No kit, though. He's sitting right in front of the thing. Got to be spamming E, being very confused with himself. But looks like he might run out of the smoke again as well. He makes it all the way through. Not managing to find the bomb, though. Now getting challenged. Lots of kills coming through from the AKs, and now it's only Naf. Tarek could have forced the issue there had he actually found the bomb, but unfortunately he was mere millimeters away from it and could not find the connection for that defuse, which means now Naf 1-on-4. The good thing is at least these terrorists do have to leave this site now, as they're all quite heavily tagged with the exception of Slemmy. They've got to get away to try and survive the bomb explosion, but, Caboose going to wait around long enough to take the head off of Naf, just making sure that bomb was safe, and another round here for Selfless, surely the comeback is not going to be real here.
I'm not really feeling it just yet. I mean, I need a few more rounds under the belt of Selfless before I start to believe. But, there were so many low HP players on that round for Selfless. If OpTic had maybe hit a couple more shots, then who knows where that round could have gone. Still, though, went the way of Selfless. And now OpTic are going to be back on the pistol once again. This will be their double eco, and they should be able to buy into the next round. So that's the one that we kind of have to look towards, because this one again seems to be heading in a similar direction as the last one did. Selfless pulling off a couple of nice kills, but it's a 2-for-2 trade overall, so still something to play for here for OpTic.
If OpTic win a pistol round, or if they couldn't win a rifle round a few rounds ago, that's going to be very interesting. But again, surely we can't expect too much more here out of OpTic. They've got themselves a couple kills. They've done a bit of damage, but with only pistols and no armor, I mean, you'd think they won't be able to do too much else. I don't think there's any guns that can really particularly easily be saved there, and I believe DSR just ditched one of those guns to be able to swap that out for an AK, so there's one less gun for OpTic to get. Rush has found himself an AK-47, but he's going to need to do pretty much all the work here himself with his teammates only on pistols. Mixwell is in a nice position behind him, but it looks like DSR is going to be ready for it, and Mixwell actually will escape with his life for now, but now DSR knows where he is, and surely not much hope. I mean, OpTic, they're just spread out all over the map. Rush is relatively close to this site. If one of these Selfless players peeks him, he could get a kill, maybe. And of course, OpTic are going to go for this. I mean, why not? They have the economy. They've been doing the eco just for this purpose. They can go for the damage here, but I don't think too much is going to go for them this one.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they're just heading or having a look around, see if they can get some exit frags here. I don't think OpTic with much of a chance of pulling off the retake in this one. Naf, he's going to get lucky.
Knife him.
There we go. Yeah, I was hoping for the knife as well, but no one was just moving a little bit too quickly. In the end, a 1-for-1 there. You know, losing only the pistol, it's like not a big deal. I think OpTic fairly happy with that. They've actually found a second AK as well, so heading into the next round with just a little bit of extra cash in their hands. Are we going to see an AWP pulled out? Here we are. Naf finding that one and chucking it over to his teammate Mixwell.
And this could be the round right here. It's worth noting that, yeah, while Mixwell's teammates were pressuring that site, trying to do the extra damage, he was knife out running through the T-halls, going to try and find the AK. That had been moved further away from their players by, I believe it was DSR in that last round. Did manage to find that thing and keep it, which means you can chuck it over to a teammate. So nice work there from Mixwell. Not getting a kill eventually in the post plan, but is going to get himself a gun. And here's a peek from Mixwell. Actually takes a bit of damage from that Molotov, but not going to be able to get a kill towards the T's, who were so close to peeking him. 15-8 though. Still a lot of work here to do for Selfless. And now that we're back on a rifle round for OpTic, surely one of these rounds, it's got to end.
Well, we're seeing Nifty here with the AWP in his hands for the first time in pretty much this entire series. He's just watching in towards the A bomb site for the moment, holding an angle. No one from OpTic too keen on peeking him by the looks of things. And really no one on OpTic too keen on doing anything at the moment by the looks of things. They're just holding back in towards their site. Selfless here are starting to make their push in towards the A site. Seems like it's going to be a bit of a split. A few through Pop Dog, maybe a couple through Ivy. Again, maybe second-guessing themselves, just pulling back for the moment. I guess they do have to retrieve the bomb before they really decide to go for anything.
Man, I would have loved to see Naf hit that wallbang. If you look on the X-ray there, of course he has no idea, but he is, or he has been at least, very close to hitting those. His crosshair is on these T's, not doing the damage, but man, it's close. They've got to be all sitting there thinking, all right, yeah, look at the bullet holes there. That's a lot of bullets coming through towards them, but going to throw some grenades out towards this A side. It looks like this is where the push will come down. 2 players down through Pop Dog now. OpTic looking to hold this one. Actually, there's Nav spamming through the smoke, gets a headshot. There's a kill for Rush as well, and his second. This could be it. Selfless now in a 1-on-5 Caboose with Rush picking up a 3K. Caboose with it all left to do. He's got to get the bomb. He has 20 seconds, 5 kills to find. This is not looking possible. 15 seconds, he's going up high. There's no players here. They've actually moved around him. He's got 10 seconds. There's no way he can win this one. The bomb is so far away. He's got to get all the kills now, and it will be shut down. OpTic will eventually close that one out.
Yeah. Finally, they managed to get the job done. There. It looked like they were going to get it done much, much earlier on in the piece there, but I think still quite a convincing win, really, from OpTic.
Absolutely. I mean, a 12-3 first half. I mean, no matter how many rounds they lose, just trying to finish it up in the second one, I believe that was 16-8 in the end. No matter how many rounds they lose, and they did lose 5, off the 12-3 start, like, there's not really too many negative things you can say about that. No. I mean, the only real negative you could say is if they'd lost that one 16-12, and they didn't. They did close it out. So that was a much better OpTic.
Yeah, definitely. They were looking pretty good there towards the end of it. Certainly looked like they got the ball rolling. They were feeling pretty comfortable there, and Selfless really just wasn't quite able to stand up to it. So, in the end, it is OpTic pulling off both the best of ones with a victory fairly comfortably in the end. And we're going to be going to a quick break, but later on, or in a few minutes, we're going to have NRG up against Complexity. So stick around.